Hey everyone, welcome back to another EFT gun build video. Today I'm covering the AK74N and creating 3 builds for it, a budget version, mid-game version, and an endgame version. Before I get into the builds, I'm going to shed some light on the gun's weaknesses and strengths so that you know where this gun will be best suited. First off, the 74N fires 545 ammo, which is very good. BT is a great budget round and works reliably up to tier 4 and still does okay against tier 5, but I recommend using higher tier ammo for the later game. This gun is also more controllable than the 5.56 rifles due to its lower fire rate, and the gun is great for mid-range to CQB, but at distances it suffers even one compared to 5.56. It still works relatively worse when engaging people over 100 meters away, so it's best to keep engagements closer. Lastly, it's worth noting that there is generally more access to AK platform parts early game, so it's easier to use this gun when leveling up than an M4 or an HK. With that general explanation of the rifle, let's get into the first build, which will be the budget variant. To start the build, buy a stock AK74N from Prapor or Fleet, whichever is cheapest. Next, purchase a polymer AK stock, a rubber AK butt pad, and an AK100 series handguard from Prapor. Next, purchase a B13V rail from Skier, along with an RK4 foregrip, an RP1 charge handle, and a DTK 545 muzzle brake. The last piece you need for this build is a saw-style pistol grip from Peacekeeper. This build requires you to be level 15. Overall, the gun comes out to 55 ergonomics and 74 vertical recoil, with the cost nearing 95k when you include a sight on the rail. This is a great gun for level 15, paired with the fact that BT ammo is very common on maps such as Reserve. This is a great early to middle of the wipe gun and can easily be modified with better parts when you unlock them at traders, as well as using better ammo. Next, we have the mid-game build, which to purchase all the parts from traders will require you to be in the level 20 to 29 range. This build is actually fairly similar to the endgame build, with only a few parts changing for the endgame build that unlock once you have level 40 traders. To start, purchase a stock AK74N, much like the budget version. Next, purchase an RP1 charge handle, a PIA WS muzzle brake, a Bastion dust cover, and an RK3 pistol grip from Skier. Next, you're going to grab a Kiba gas tube, UFM handguard, a 2-inch CAS V mount, a 6-inch CAS V mount, an LAS TAC flashlight, RVG foregrip, and an EOTech hollow sight or your sight of choice. The last parts we need are your magazines of choice as well, and I went with the black polymer ones from Prapor 2. Overall, this build comes to a nice 71 ergo and 53 vertical recoil, providing a very solid platform for PvP and taking out scavs, raiders, and scav bosses. Pair this build with a Golnik or BS ammo and you will be a force to be reckoned with. Finally, we have the endgame build, which if you want to purchase all the parts from traders, it will require you to be level 40 and have many of the traders unlocked to level 4. This build actually doesn't differ too much from the mid-game build as I mentioned before, but the parts you unlock don't cost a whole lot more than the mid-game parts, so in general, it's worth making this build once level 40. So I'm going to start off with the mid-game build just so you guys can see which parts are being changed. This way, you can upgrade the mid-game build to the endgame build with ease. First, you're going to replace the UFM handguard with the Volter CMRD handguard, and they both use the Kiba gas tube, so you don't need to replace that. Next, swap out the Bastion dust cover for a Fab Defense PDC dust cover, and the last thing to change is the foregrip, which I'm swapping out for a B25U, which is about 45k, so it's not always worth changing out from an RVG. The last thing to note here is that if you upgrade from the mid-game build, you already have the CAS V mounts needed to put a foregrip and a flashlight onto the new handguard, so just take them off the UFM handguard and put them onto the new one. Overall, the gun comes out to a 71 ergo, like the previous build, as well as 49 recoil, which is 4 below the previous build. So it doesn't differ too much in terms of stats, but it's a heck of a lot cooler looking. For this build, I also used a PK06 sight. Thanks for watching. I'm still working on the last two parts of the Shoreline Guide series, but as the first video hasn't done super great, I wanted to work on a different video just in case the next Shoreline video faces the same fate. If you're interested in supporting the channel, the best thing to do right now is to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. If you want to go above and beyond, I also have a Patreon set up as well. Besides that, feel free to join the Discord to chat with me outside of streams, play some games, or just hang out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.